Welcome back to The Explainer. So today, we are diving into something absolutely wild. We're looking at the incredible mechanics behind YouTube's single biggest phenomenon. And it's really fascinating because this creator completely re-engineered digital entertainment. He didn't do it by chasing drama, though. No, he did it by weaponizing generosity. So let's just dive right in and see how one person's relentless drive created a totally new blueprint for internet success.
Jimmy Donaldson once said, "If you had told me when I was 13 that I would give away $1 million in a single video," well, he admitted he wouldn't have even known how much money that actually was. I mean, to a 13-year-old kid, $50 feels like a fortune, right? It really highlights this massive, almost unbelievable contrast between his super humble beginnings in a small North Carolina town and the staggering, literally life-changing amounts of money he just casually gives away today.
And that really brings us to the core thesis of today's Explainer. You see, this isn't just your standard story about getting famous. Not at all. It's the story of how an obsessed, painfully shy kid managed to completely crack the code of internet virality. Think about how algorithmic our world is today. He used that exact code to turn staggering generosity into a massive spectacle. He literally built an empire on the simple idea that making people happy is, well, highly entertaining.
Okay, let's get into Section 1, the obsessive beginnings, a shy kid's rise.
So, to really understand his current scale, we first have to debunk a massive myth. He was absolutely not a trust fund baby. He was raised by a single mother who served in the military for 21 years. So, he didn't have unlimited resources, just an incredibly intense personality. At age 10, that obsession was entirely focused on baseball, but he was shy, like so shy he couldn't even socialize at Little League practice. But he was driven. Then right around age 12, he realizes, wait, creators can actually make money on YouTube? By 15, everything changes with a really devastating Crohn's disease diagnosis. And eventually, right after his high school graduation, his mother gives him the classic ultimatum: go to college if you want to keep living under this roof. Let's talk about that Crohn's diagnosis when he was 15, because it was totally earth-shattering for him. He went from 180 pounds down to a frail 139 pounds. At 6'2", he was, in his own words, a frail little twig. He literally had zero energy. Playing baseball just became pure physical torture. So, with his athletic dreams completely crushed, that obsessive, hyper-focused energy only had one place left to go: making YouTube videos in his bedroom.
Which brings us to Section 2, the viral grind, going all in on YouTube.
Remember that college ultimatum from his mom? Well, Jimmy enrolled, but he actually stopped going to class after just a few weeks. Instead, he took the little scraps of money he made from YouTube, moved into a cheap apartment with his best friend Chris, and just went into absolute hyperdrive on a crashing, hand-me-down laptop. He even had to use a microphone he'd saved up months for, just so his audio wouldn't literally make people's ears bleed. So how on earth did he break out of that obscurity? Well, it took 40 straight hours. Yes, 40 hours. That is how long Jimmy sat in front of a camera to simply count to 100,000. Sure, it wasn't some high-budget production, but the sheer, unrelenting effort of doing something so incredibly tedious just grabbed a massive amount of attention. It became one of his very first true viral hits.
He quickly realized he had struck gold. He found a formula. He followed up the counting video by reading the entire dictionary, spinning a fidget spinner for 24 hours straight, watching the exact same music video for 10 hours, and reading the entire B-movie script. Now, you might be wondering why on earth did this work? It worked because these absurd stunts were so intensely difficult, original, and honestly just agonizing to complete that viewers basically had no choice but to watch. It was just pure, undeniable effort.
Moving on to Section 3, cracking the YouTube code. Strategy meets effort.
So an app called Quid offered him his first real brand deal, $5,000. Now, for a kid eating scraps, this was absolutely mind-blowing. But shockingly, Jimmy didn't keep a dime of it. He stood in his driveway and negotiated them up to $10,000, explicitly telling the sponsor he just wanted to walk out his front door and hand every single penny of it to a homeless person on camera. The sponsor was totally stunned, but hey, they agreed. And when he handed over that cash, the emotional reaction was just so genuine and so powerful that the internet absolutely ate it up.
And this right here reveals a truly brilliant pattern. It's almost like a viral flywheel. Let's break it down. Step 1, get a brand deal. Step 2, give 100% of that money away on camera. Step 3, watch as the pure shock and positivity of the video makes it go insanely viral. Step 4, take those massive new viewership numbers back to a brand to get an even bigger deal and repeat the whole shebang.
He did this with pizza delivery drivers, eventually handing out so much cash that he actually paid off his mother's $100,000 mortgage. He realized that giving money away was literally the ultimate growth engine.
Section 4. Scaling viral philanthropy. Exponential growth.
As his views rocketed from millions to tens of millions, he started attempting the seemingly impossible. He asked, how do we raise $20 million to plant 20 million trees in just 2 months? You see, when Jimmy was hitting that 20 million subscriber milestone, he wanted to celebrate by planting 1 million trees. But experts literally told him planting 1 million trees was impossible. So, in classic MrBeast fashion, he decided to make it even more impossible. He publicly committed to planting 20 million trees by the year 2020.
To pull this off, he orchestrated an insane mobilization of the internet. He partnered with ex-NASA engineer Mark Rober and the Arbor Day Foundation just to make sure it was done right. Hundreds of YouTube creators dropped videos at the exact same time to drive traffic to the cause. And while, yeah, sure, billionaires like Elon Musk dropped $1 million, the most staggering fact is that the median donation was just $4. We're talking tooth fairy money, bake sale money. It really shows us that true power lies in a massive volume of small, grassroots donations. He proved that the internet and just everyday viewers like us could actually unite to do something incredibly good.
And now, Section 5, the ultimate endgame, systemizing philanthropy. To truly understand the sheer real-world power he wields today, consider this crazy story. He decided to open a restaurant where all the food was entirely free. The logistical madness that ensued is legendary. I mean, so many people showed up that it caused a 20-mile-long traffic jam. The police were completely overwhelmed. To keep the traffic moving so they wouldn't get shut down, Jimmy and his crew literally had to start throwing iPads and bags of cash through the car windows of the people stuck in line. Just think about that for a second. It's an unbelievable scale of influence.
So how do you even harness that kind of chaos? Well, you systemize it. He created Beast Philanthropy. It's a completely separate YouTube channel where 100% of the ad revenue, brand deals, and merchandise sales go directly into funding his very own massive food bank. He created this brilliant, totally self-sustaining ecosystem. If you just sit and watch a video on that channel, your view generates ad revenue, which literally puts food directly into the mouths of people in need. Talk about a real game changer. It's just an incredible win-win loop. What's truly fascinating, though, is the underlying philosophy behind it all. Look, we all know it's incredibly easy to find negative, trash talk, drama on the internet. But Jimmy has this driving thesis that positive, fulfilling content can fundamentally beat that negativity in the algorithm. He points out that, sure, it's easy to tear things down or create drama. Uplifting content, on the other hand, that requires significantly more effort, planning, and resources to actually make it entertaining. But when you put in that effort, the impact is immense. He's actively out there trying to prove that positivity wins.
And honestly, the results of that positivity speak for themselves. Right now, he is feeding tens of thousands of families through his local Eastern North Carolina food banks. During the COVID-19 pandemic alone, he was dropping off hundreds of thousands of servings of protein and just giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars over Zoom calls. And he has explicitly stated his plan is to take this model and scale it out internationally. It's pretty amazing.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. If one obsessive kid from a small town can figure out how to hack the YouTube algorithm for good, literally turning views into millions of trees, free meals, and paid-off mortgages, what could an entire internet of creators accomplish if they adopted this exact blueprint? The future of digital media and philanthropy might just turn out to be one and the same. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning what's possible.